Welcome to Estimating Your College Costs. There are many factors to consider when choosing the college that is the best fit for you, like a college's size, atmosphere, academic offerings, and admissions standards. But a factor that many students overlook when choosing a college is what it will actually cost. As a 21st century scholar, you have a head start on paying for college, but remember, your 21st century scholarship will not pay for all of your college expenses. So a question you need to ask yourself is, how much money will I have to pay for college? This presentation will help you understand that important question using the Indiana College Costs Estimator, a free online tool that allows students and families to estimate their out-of-pocket costs of attending college. The first part of this presentation will help you understand what expenses are included in a college's cost of attendance. The cost of attendance is an estimate of the total cost to attend a particular college for a period of 1 year. Next, we'll look at the different ways to pay for college, including grants, scholarships, like the 21st Century Scholarship, loans, and work aid. Then we will show you what goes into calculating the net cost or out-of-pocket cost of attending college. In Part 2, we'll take you through the steps of completing the Indiana College Cost Estimator yourself and show you how the estimator can help you compare the cost of what you will have to pay at different Indiana colleges. Before estimating net costs, you have to understand what makes up a college's cost of attendance. Cost of attendance can be broken down into several expense categories, including tuition, which is the cost of attending classes, mandatory fees, which are those costs to support things like campus technology or student health services that are charged to all students, room and board, which is the estimated cost of housing and meals, books and supplies, which is the estimated cost for textbooks and other supplies you will need to take your classes. Personal expenses, which is the estimated cost for things related to daily living, like laundry, entertainment, etc. Transportation, which is the estimated cost for travel around campus and between campus and home during breaks. Tuition, mandatory fees, and room and board are considered direct costs, which are typically billed from the college directly to the student. Books and supplies, personal expenses, and transportation are considered indirect costs that are not billed by the college, but will ultimately be the student's responsibility. When added together, direct costs and indirect costs equal the cost of attendance. Cost of attendance can vary greatly depending on what type of college you attend. The broad types of colleges include public colleges. Indiana public colleges receive at least part of their funding directly from the state. This state funding often allows public colleges to have lower tuition rates than other type of colleges. Examples of public colleges include Ball State University, Indiana State University, Indiana University, Ivy Tech Community College, Purdue University, the University of Southern Indiana, and Vincennes University. Private colleges, on the other hand, do not receive direct state support and typically have higher tuition rates. Examples of private colleges include Franklin College, Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, and Calumet College of St. Joseph. Like private colleges, proprietary schools do not receive public dollars and typically have higher tuition rates than public colleges, but unlike private schools, they are run by private for-profit organizations. Examples of proprietary schools include ITT Technical Institute, Harrison College, and Lincoln College of Technology. Colleges can also be separated into 2-year and 4-year institutions. Students attending 2-year colleges, sometimes called community colleges, can earn an associate's degree after 2 years and enter the job market, or transfer to a 4-year college after completing 1 to 4 semesters of coursework to pursue a bachelor's degree. Tuition rates at two-year colleges are typically lower than four-year schools. This slide compares the total cost of attendance of three types of schools in Indiana, including a four-year public school, a two-year public school, and a four-year private school. Although we're talking about college costs here, this is a good time to see what your 21st Century Scholarship actually pays for. Your 21st Century Scholarship can pay for up to 4 years of tuition and mandatory fees at an Indiana college. But the amount your 21st Century Scholarship will pay will depend on the type of college you attend. At a public college, it pays 100% of tuition and mandatory fees. At a private college, it pays only a portion of tuition and fees. And at a proprietary school, the scholarship is the same as if the student were to attend Ivy Tech Community College. Your 21st Century Scholarship will not cover the cost of books, room and board, personal expenses, or other costs outside tuition and mandatory fees, but other forms of financial aid can. As you can see, when the 21st Century Scholarship is applied, your cost of attendance is significantly cheaper than the sticker price. Next, we'll look at ways to pay for college in addition to the 21st Century Scholarship, which can help bring your net costs down. Essentially, there are three major types of financial aid: grants and scholarships. Grants and scholarships can be considered free money that does not have to be paid back. Examples of this type of financial aid include the 21st Century Scholarship, the federal Pell Grant, local scholarships, and institutional aid that may be available from the college you attend. Loans refer to funds borrowed from the government or from private lenders and must be paid back with interest. Remember, if you must take out a loan, only borrow the amount that you will actually need. Jobs and work study. This includes earnings from regular employment as well as work aid such as the Federal Work Study Program or the state's Earn Indiana Work Study Program. Students who qualify for a work study program have a chance to work directly for the college or community where they go to school and earn money that they can apply directly to college expenses. Grants and scholarships are often referred to as gift aid since you do not have to pay them back. Loans as well as job and work study are often referred to as self-help aid because you have to pay loans back or you have to work in order to earn the funds. Another way to look at financial aid is how it is earned or how you qualify to receive it. Merit aid is usually awarded based on certain academic performances such as GPA, test scores, class rank, but can also be given to a candidate displaying artistic or athletic excellence among other qualities. Need aid is awarded based on your family's financial need or ability to pay for college expenses. You can also consider the source of aid or who the money comes from. The major sources of financial aid include the federal and state government, colleges, often referred to as institutional aid, and private scholarship providers like foundations, community organizations, and employers. And of course, you may pay for some of your college expenses through personal savings, a college 529 savings plan, or directly from wages earned by you and your parents. To determine your net cost of attending a college, you start with the cost of attendance and then subtract any gift aid you may receive. The result is the net price or the out-of-pocket cost that you can expect to pay for your college education. Although you may be eligible for self-help aid as well, such as student loans, self-help aid is not subtracted to arrive at the net price, since it represents money that you will have to either repay or earn through work to pay for your college education. Some colleges may look more expensive based on their cost of attendance, but once you consider the 21st Century Scholarship and other financial aid, you may find that your out-of-pocket cost is comparable to colleges with a lower cost of attendance. Now that we've reviewed how the net or out-of-pocket cost for college is calculated, let's take a look at the Indiana College Costs Estimator. Before we walk you through the steps of completing your own Indiana College Costs Estimator, here are a few important tips. Make sure to complete the estimator with the help of your parent or legal guardian. You will need to enter their information in order to complete the estimator, and it's important that they understand financial aid and the net cost of college as it relates to you and your family. The results of the College Costs Estimator are only as accurate as the information you put into it. Be sure to check your entries carefully before submitting. As implied by the name, the College Costs Estimator will only give you an estimate of what your net cost of college may be and should be used for informational purposes only. These figures do not represent final determinations of financial assistance or a final net price from any college or university. The cost of attendance and available financial aid change from year to year and vary among institutions, as will your family information, so make sure to run a new report each year. You can complete your own College Costs Estimator for free by going to indianacollegecosts.org and selecting Click Here to begin. The top of the first page of the estimator provides you with an overview of the tool and includes links to frequently asked questions, related resources, and key terms on the right side of the screen. It's a good idea to review each of these areas before you complete the estimator. The key terms section is particularly useful since it defines many of the terms that you will need to know in order to complete the College Costs Estimator and understand your results. As you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll find a list of the information you will need in order to complete the estimator, as well as information on how to create an account on the College Costs Estimator website. Although you don't have to have an account to use the estimator, we recommend you create one so that you can come back and update your information and run new reports as your information changes and you continue to explore your college choices. Once you create a new account and click on Create a New Estimator, you will find information listing what items you need to complete the estimator. Here is a close-up of the list of items you should have available. The estimator will ask you to complete 6 screens of information and takes the average user only 15 minutes to complete. The College Costs Estimator has been designed to be a user-friendly application with built-in tools and features to help students and parents complete with minimal effort, and the first screen simply asks for the student to enter basic demographic information. The second screen asks you what year you plan to begin your undergraduate year of study. In other words, what year you plan on starting college. If you'll graduate from high school in 2018, for example, you would select the 2018-2019 school year here. The bottom of this screen will ask you a series of yes or no questions to determine your dependency status. These questions are taken directly off the FAFSA, and for the majority of students, the answers to all of these questions will be no. The third page will ask for specific information about your family, which your parent or guardian can help answer. You will also find tips on the right side of the page to guide you through these questions. On the fourth page, you will enter your income and asset information. If you didn't work the previous year or file taxes, you will still have to report asset information on this page, including the balance of any checking or savings accounts you may have or untaxed income that you receive. Definition and tips on what information to include will pop up on the right side of the page as you click in each text field. On the fifth page, your parent or guardian will complete information about their income and assets. Once again, they should have copies of the previous year's tax forms to pull the information from. The last page of the estimator will ask you to enter information such as your GPA, class rank, high school diploma type, and SAT and/or ACT scores. This will help the College Costs Estimator determine if there are any merit-based scholarships and grants that you may be eligible for. Finally, you'll be taken to a page that summarizes your responses. Review your responses carefully and hit confirm. You're almost ready to view your College Costs Estimator report. But before you do, you will be taken to a page where you can view your expected family contribution, or EFC. Your EFC is a measure of your family's financial strength and is calculated from data entered into the FAFSA that you and your parents will complete each year, beginning with your senior year of high school and every year afterward until you graduate from college. Your EFC is not the amount of money your family will have to pay for college. Instead, colleges will use your EFC, which can change from year to year, to determine what financial aid you may be eligible for. The lower your EFC, the more need-based aid you will be eligible for. The Indiana College Costs Estimator uses the same questions asked on your FAFSA to calculate your EFC, and then uses that number to estimate what need-based federal, state, and institutional aid you may be eligible for. Now you will be taken to a page where you can select a college and view your College Costs Estimator report. Simply select a college you are interested in and click on View College Costs. Here is a sample of what you'll see. At the top of the page, you'll find a summary of the total of the cost of attendance for the college that you chose. In the next section, you'll find the amounts of any gift aid you might be eligible for. In this sample, the report lists an amount for the federal Pell Grant and for the 21st Century Scholarship. Notice that the amount of the 21st Century Scholarship is the same in the amount for tuition and fees listed under cost of attendance. This makes sense since the Indiana State University, the college used in this example, is a public university, and the 21st Century Scholarship pays for up to 100% of tuition and mandatory fees at state public colleges. By subtracting gift aid from the estimated cost of attendance, the report will show you your estimated net price for attending this institution. In other words, what the out-of-pocket cost would be for you to attend for 1 year. When comparing college costs, it's the net price that is the number that matters the most. Below the net price, the report will list estimated amounts for self-help aid you may be eligible for, and then subtract this from the net costs to arrive at the remaining costs after self-help aid is applied. When you actually enroll in college, you will receive an award letter from the college and university you are attending that will list amounts for both gift aid, free money, and self-help aid, money you have to either pay back through loans or earn through work study. Please note, you do not have to accept any of the self-help aid that is submitted. In fact, every year college students and parents take out millions of dollars in student loans that they don't really need. Student loans should only be spent on educational expenses, so make sure to consult with your parents and with a financial aid advisor at the college you attend before accepting any student loans. One way to reduce the amount of loans you may need to take out is to find more free money. The bottom of the report, you'll find information and links to any local scholarship opportunities you may be eligible for based on the demographic information you entered into the College Costs Estimator. And below that, important reminders and links to other information and resources, including links to information to scholarships provided by the college listed on the report. One of the most powerful uses of the College Costs Estimator is its ability to list information and net costs for colleges side by side for easy comparison. To access this feature, simply click on the button at the bottom of the page and select up to 3 colleges to compare. In this example, the student listed a private, a 2-year public, and a 4-year public to compare. Being able to view colleges side by side allows you to easily compare college costs and see what potential financial aid, both gift aid and self-help aid, you may be eligible for. But remember, the net price listed for each school is just an estimate based on the information you and your parents entered into the estimator. This is good information to have when you start narrowing down the college you want to apply to, but it can change, and you should update your college cost estimator at least once a year to view new estimates. Now that you've watched this video, you must log on to your ScholarTrack account at scholars.in.gov to answer a few questions and confirm you've completed this requirement. You should also complete the College Cost Estimator with your parent or legal guardian so you can get a better understanding of what your specific costs might be based on your family's financial information. And it's a good idea to start searching for additional scholarships that could help you cover additional college expenses. For more information and help, visit the Scholars website at scholars.in.gov or visit learnmoreindiana.org. Learn More Indiana is a statewide program that provides resources to help students plan, prepare, and pay for college. You can also contact the Scholars Helpline at 1-888-528-4719. And don't forget to also research any additional incentives or support that specific colleges may offer to students in the 21st Century Scholars. Go to scholars.in.gov/incentives for more information. This presentation was created in partnership with the National Center for College Costs. Any Indiana resident also now has full access to the staff at the National Center for College Costs for help with any aspect of the college selection, admission, and financial aid processes. To contact the National Center for College Costs, call 877-687-7291 or email info@collegecosts.com.